Mackenzie. My name is Lily. I'm a student physical therapist. I know that we talked a little bit about your squat and that you were having some trouble bending that ankle forward. So I'm going to show you 2 exercises to kind of address your squat mechanics and see if we can improve your depth a little bit. So this first one, I'm going to call it Dorsiflexion Mobilization, or DFM, however you want to call it, bending that ankle forward. What I want you to do is, if you have a belt or if you have a strap like this, that would be great. A belt also works just fine. You're going to want like a stool or a chair to put that right foot on that we're working on. For me, I just stand in this lunge position. Normally I would have a rail right here so you can worry less about balance. And I just want you to kind of work into that motion, holding onto that rail. Now, some things to remember with this exercise. Ooh, I did not do a good job of that. I want you to keep your heel on that stool. So I don't want you to like kind of go up onto your toes for this, but I want you to keep that heel on the stool, chair, or ground if you're doing it this in half kneeling. Another thing to consider is keeping your knee over your toes. Don't let it go out like this or out like that. Definitely I want you to have that rail on so you can really focus on that motion. Another thing to consider is that I would like you, if you can, work this in twice a day, maybe do 2 to 3 sets of 15, just back and forth, 1, 2, really just trying to get as far as you can over that ankle. If you could do that twice a day, every day, that would be great. If you can only do it a few times a week, that's totally fine. Just as often as you can, or as often as you feel like that would be helpful. You can absolutely do it more often as long as it's not irritating you. That's probably what I would recommend. Yeah, it may feel a little stiff in front, especially when you're first starting these, for like that first set. You may even feel some tightness in the back of your leg. That should be normal, and we're gonna work on that as we work through these. You can also put your hands on here, as long as you have something to hold on to in case you lose your balance. So that was exercise number 1. Again, belt works just fine. Just something to pull your shin back and keep your foot on that stool or chair. So now, what we're gonna do is the second exercise. Ideally, I would have you be side to side with a mirror. And then what I want you to do is stand a little bit out from the chair. And then I just want you to focus on keeping a little bit of extension in that lower back as you squat down. So I know that we had talked about when you get down here, you're kind of tucking your butt a little bit. So we're gonna work on that. So you're gonna come down, try to keep that extension. I also struggle with this, so this one's hard for me. But try to keep that extension and just touch the chair and then come back up. Let me think. If you could do this twice a day, or even just once a day, 2 sets of 10 reps, squatting up and down, and just watching your spine in the mirror, that would be great. 1 to 2 times a day. If you could do it every day, great. 5 times a week is also great. You do it like Monday through Friday, take a weekend break. Some things to consider with this is I definitely want you near something in case you lose your balance again. You're likely not to, but just in case, having this chair here is great as well. Bless you. If this got, we can go over if things are too hard or too easy as well. If this got too easy and you were still able to keep that lumbar extension, I would just move you to a lower chair and see if you can maintain it there. If this is too hard, you're still getting that little tuck at the end with this, I'd move you to a higher surface. This is a little too high for me. Then just trying to maintain that tap and then come back up. So you could use like just a higher chair or just another surface that would work. Let's go back to, sorry about that noise. If this DFM, or dorsiflexion mobilization, that's why we have something to hang on to, got too easy, I would just have you stretch that down out a little more. If you're using a belt, I would just probably have you work more into that motion. If this is too hard, what I would have you do is be sitting on your bed maybe, and then put your heel, here I'll use my right side, heel here, and then pull your shin kind of down into the table. So the goal is to pull your ankle this way, and then your shin down and back. So you can see here, I'm just like putting pressure and then releasing, putting pressure and releasing. For that squat, going back to the second exercise, that squat, I know that you do lift, but let's try to do it with no weight and see how that goes. If you're still looking good after we've gone to like a lower height, we can try adding weight to a mid-level height and see how that goes, but I definitely want you to keep your spine in mind. Okay, that's it for now. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in like a little chat area that we may or may not have. Otherwise, you can call me and just ask your questions then. In the meantime, post a video of like how you're doing and such. Okay, thank you for watching. Subscribe, save, turn on notifications, and I'll see you next time.